So I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, and I've always had these thoughts throughout the years because I've always been kind of spiritually based. Um, and I'm just sitting here really pondering on the idea and the possibility of living a whole completely different reality. Like you living in a whole nother dimension. And what I mean by that, it gotta be a way to go godlike mode. Now I'm not saying we're gonna be like Super Saiyan or Dragon Ball Z. Um, I'm not saying we're gonna be able to shoot lasers out of our eyes or nothing like that. But it's already common knowledge that we don't even use 30% of our brain. It's so much we're like limited to. We're so limited as a people, as a species, or whatever you want to call it, as mankind. And a lot of our spiritual um potential has been, you know, has been affected. Like it's been pretty much thrown out the window because of the toxic world that's put in front of us. The toxic world we're forced to live in. The foods we eat, just that alone, is already detrimental to us ever reaching our full potential of unlocking our, I guess, powers. Like we'll never unlock our powers because it's too much toxic energy around us. But I do feel like a way to possibly step into another realm, just a tad bit, is basically to go monk mode, to detach yourself from society, to separate yourself from the world. And it sounds basically like the ideal of Christianity, of following, Jesus or the character of Jesus. Is pretty much the ideal of that. So that's why even if you don't follow certain religions, it's good to like take a little bit from each religion. Because I feel like you could take a lot of good concepts and a lot of good methods, a lot of good practices from each religion and apply it. I feel like there's truth in many religions. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do feel like a lot has been hidden from us. And that's for various reasons. Because I guess, they don't want certain people to know exactly how to really go about unlocking their full potential, how to really walk in a spiritual, you know, their spiritual purpose. I think a lot of people feel like they think they know what they're doing, and the quote, I guess, elites or whatever you want to call it, they don't mind you feeling like you think you know what you're doing, but as long as they know that you don't got the full breakdown on how to really walk in your full spiritual calling, your full spiritual purpose, meaning you'll never be godlike, you know. So I just want to bring this up, and I want to bring up some things I feel like that can help a person maybe unlock some of that godlike potential that's within them. And I feel like I said, first thing is detaching yourself from the world, separating yourself from society, going, as they call it, quote, monk mode, which is just, like I said, placing yourself um as far away from toxic energy as possible. Because honestly, everything around us is toxic. Just you might have a definition of toxic, but other stuff are toxic outside of what you call toxic. Just going to work, just being put within a confined facility for 8 to 10, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, that's already toxic. You know? Now if you look at it from a worldly view, a worldly perspective, then that's like, okay, that could be seen as productive. Like, okay, you going to work, you're doing something productive, you're making your money. But we speak on terms of spiritual. From a spiritual standpoint, that's toxic. That's holding you back. All this time while you're at work, you could be using that time for something else. But it's like the way it's set up, the way the system is set up, the way the world is ran, is to where you have to rely on that. You have to rely on toxic, low vibrational things to live comfortably. So it's like it's almost no way around it. You know what I'm saying? For a person to really go godlike mode and to be monk, you're gonna have to damn to be as what society sees as a bum, as a loser. you know? And for some people it might not be that hard. You probably already got your foot halfway through the door with that. You already don't fit in. You're already seen as a outcast or a black sheep to society. So it probably won't be that hard for you to go quote monk mode or whatever. I feel like it wouldn't be hard for me. Now I'm not gonna lie, I do, you know what I'm saying? There's phases where I do be on my phone a lot. You know, it's times I get caught up with scrolling through social media and stuff like that. But it's not like no life or death thing if I had to put it away. Like, oh my God, my life is over, and I'm ready to go jump out in front of a moving train or a car. No, it ain't that serious with me. Like some people, they couldn't fathom even going probably half a day or a full day without their phone. Like, it's not that bad with me. And that's the first step, like being willing to sacrifice the things that you're attached to, you know? Because like I said, we're looking at it from a spiritual standpoint. We're looking at it from a spiritual perspective, a spiritual set of eyes. We're not looking at it from how society will look at it. Like I said, going to work is a productive thing. It's a good thing. You got to go to work, make money, grind, clock your ass in, kiss your boss ass, or whatever you got to do to get that money so you're able to pay rent, you're able to support your family, boom, boom, boom. But we talking about God-like mode. And this is a very uncomfortable conversation because honestly, to go God-like mode, you'd have to separate yourself from everything. I'm talking about everybody. Everything in your life that could be used as an entity to destroy you. You got to put yourself in the best position possible to protect your energy, to protect your peace, because that's the most important thing when you're God-like mode. At least that's how I envision. I'm not in God-like mode, I'm nowhere near it, but I feel like I have an idea of what you got to do to unlock your spiritual potential, to unlock that possible spiritual power from within you. And detaching yourself from society is really just another form of fasting. Like when you fast, people that fast for whatever reasons, there's different reasons to fast and there's different types of fast. But if you go a certain amount of time, certain amount of days or whatever, avoiding food or avoiding a certain type of food, that's like small baby stuff. That's like a small form of detaching yourself. You may still be going to work and living your daily life, but let's say you refraining from eating pork or meat or food, or you might be fasting from stuff with a lot of sugars in it, stuff with a lot of carbs. You know, that's like some kind of practice, to be honest. But fasting is very powerful, especially if you enter it with a spiritual intention. Like if you fasting to get closer to what you believe in, let's say you believe in God, if you fast to get closer to God, like I don't know what it is with fasting, but fasting really works, whether you believe it or not. Fasting is very powerful, man. If you cut aside certain things that's deemed as toxic to your physical, whether it's foods, and that stuff, it all ties in together. Foods, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional, all that stuff is all ties into spiritual at the end of the day. When you separate yourself from toxic stuff, it's like it do something in the spiritual realm, man. You will start to have deeper dreams. You will start to have visions. You will start to have revelation. You know, you could fast for revelation about certain things about your life. It might be certain things that happen to you that you're like unaware of. You're not really sure about. You don't have a full understanding of it. But if you go on a fast with the intention of, okay, I'm fasting to understand da 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 or this and that, fill in the blank, whatever it is for your situation. If you fast, I'm not saying it's guaranteed every time, but if you fast strong enough and you're really serious about it, I guarantee you might get some kind of revelation, some knowledge of your situation, of why such and such happened, or why this happened to you, or why this person did that to you. You know, you might even get insight on or about a particular person, stuff they might got going on behind closed doors. Like it go deep. You will have dreams about people in their personal situation. You know, revelation means sometimes you will be revealed secrets about certain people. But it's all another topic. But anyways, this about just all together about going God-like mode. Detaching yourself from society, detaching yourself from people, bad energy, whether you see it as good or bad. It might be bad for your potential spiritual purpose. You might be hanging around people, and you might deem they're cool or whatever, but they're holding you back, you know. But it's almost like a lose-lose situation sometimes. It's just like you got to be forced to live out here in this world and go out here and make moves. You got to go out here and interact with people. You got to be around low vibrational energy and low vibrational entities. You know, you might be forced to work with people that's constantly downplaying you, that's demeaning you, that's devaluing you, all that kind of stuff, man. You forced to be in this type of environment day in and day out, and you just feel so just out of it. You're exhausted. You got to go to work. You may have to be around family. You know, they don't understand you. So to be godlike mode, you're gonna have to make that sacrifice, and that's why most people will never go godlike mode. That's why you watching this will never go godlike mode, and that's why me myself will never go godlike mode if I ain't willing to do it. And that's the sacrifice. That's the separate yourself. Sacrifice all that you know. Like I said, the concept of even how the Christians and the disciples follow Jesus. That's a form. That's pretty much going godlike mode. You gotta really sacrifice. Once you do that, the universe gonna come in. Boom. But you gotta make that first step. But most people ain't willing to make that step. It's hard to put away the things that you're attached to. It's hard. You're so used to a particular routine. It's hard. Most people ain't willing to just, you know what I'm saying? It might require you to be a bum. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to sound negative or nothing, but going godlike mode might require you to be humiliated. This might be a form of humility you have to go through. It might be a form of humiliation ritual that you have to endure before you even enter into godlike mode. Because let's be honest, even God in the Bible, also just on some Christian stuff, even God in the Bible said, be humble. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourselves before the Lord. God blesses the humble. He oppresses the wicked or whatever. But that's just an example. Like, you have to enter into this godlike mode with humility, with a childlike mindset. What is a childlike mindset? A child is very eager about things. A child is willing to learn. A child is not stuck in their ways because they're growing. They're trying to develop knowledge about everything. They see a bird flying. Oh my God, a bird. They just staring at the bird in awe and wonder. Trying to figure out, how does it flap its wings? How does it look so graceful when it's just drifting through the wind, when it's just flying through the sky, just soaring? You know what I'm saying? They just captivated by everything. That's a childlike mentality. When you enter in godlike mode and you enter into another realm of your life, you trying to go into another dimension, you got to have a childlike mentality. You got to be willing to learn and to soak in all that this experience has to offer. You can't be stuck in your ways. You can't be closed in a box. You can't be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This is what I believe, and I'm not willing to accept anything else. You're going to have to be willing to go outside your comfort zone. So I just got to think about all this, like, you know what I'm saying? I got an interview later on today, but it's like, even with just this life, bro, like, just me personally, and I know some of y'all can relate, you just tired, man. You fed up with life. It's like sometimes you be thinking like, man, I'm never going to fit in anyway. I'm never going to fit in with society. I was never no super popular dude. I had my cool moments here and there, on and off, but overall, I would say I probably am more of like a loser in society. I'm not saying I'm a loser overall, but just in society, I'm just not a person that people just are, knocking down doors to want to, kick it with or whatever like that. I like to keep to myself. I'm kind of introverted. I got, my wall of defense is up or whatever. I'm very defensive. Like, because I've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot. I feel like I've been attacked a lot verbally or whatever, or not verbally, but spiritually, emotionally. So I got to have a wall up or whatever. And in that situation, I don't ever see myself wanting to kick it with society, wanting to fit in and just be that top dog, because it's not going to work anyway. I may have a little bit of success here and there, but overall, it's just not meant for me, and I understand that. Being that dude or being the life of the party, it's not in my calling. It's not that. And to be honest, I start to feel like you don't really come with a calling. Sometimes I think you just gotta make a calling for yourself. The door is there, and are you willing to open the door and go through a whole nother experience? Are you willing to change? And I used to feel like you come with a purpose. Oh yeah, you gotta find your purpose. I feel like you just gotta make a purpose for yourself. If you want to, if you want to enter in God like realm, you gotta do it. You gotta want it. You know, most people ain't gonna do it though. Like I said, because it's uncomfortable. You stepping out of what you know. And change scares people. Change is very scary. I actually had a vision a couple years back. This one I was going hard with, like, because I ain't gonna lie, I was dibbling and dabbling in a lot of different spiritual things. I was trying different little, little rituals and stuff. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I would learn about Egyptianology and all that kind of stuff, the Orishas and all that kind of stuff, even about the Greek gods and Greek mythology. I was just learning about a lot. I was just so adamant and eager about it. I just haven't really been tapping in with that lately or whatever, because I feel like life has really been knocking the motherfucker down. I feel like, because when I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell y'all the scary shit with the spiritual stuff, shit gonna start happening, man. You gonna really start going through it. So you gotta really be prepared for that. But so I had a vision that a voice was talking to me. I was wide awake. A voice talked to me, and it's like I blacked out and I saw it was like a weird it was some kind of image. It was like some kind of image being played in front of me, like a projector screen, like I was watching something. It's like I just kind of went in a trance, and I heard this voice talking to me, telling me something about, oh, you're scared to change, you're scared of the unknown, something like that. And it went for about maybe 20 seconds. And I remember at the time I was kind of spooked out, like what, like, you know what I'm saying? So I had a little journal and I wrote the shit down. I wish I had it. I don't know where it's at to this day, but this happened in 2020. I want to say, no, 2020, something like that. Like I literally had a voice speaking to me, and I'm not tripping or nothing like that, because I was serious. Like when you serious about something and you step into that zone and that realm of you really trying to like go to another level, things will start to present itself to you. Even what the Bible would say, ask and you shall, and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door should be open to you. That's basically how it applies even with the universe stuff. Like, once you go out there and really seek it, and you not just acting like you about it, but if you really about it, stuff really gonna start presenting itself to you. It's gonna start coming into your life. But you gotta make that first step of sacrifice, of detaching yourself. And I just feel like it gotta be a way to go godlike mode. It gotta be a way. You know what I'm saying? This stuff that's on the surface, the struggles of life, the trials and tribulations, it gotta be more than this, man. It gotta be a way out of this stuff, man. Just working a 9 to 5 and trying to talk to some girls and trying to get pussy. That can't be the answer, man. Yeah, it may feel good or whatever, but everybody ain't got it like that, man. You may really have to go through the storm in life, man. It gotta be another answer, man. It gotta be another answer. It gotta be something that we don't know, something that's been withheld from us, from finding out of what we're really capable of. It gotta be something, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I just thought I'd do this video, man. It gotta be a way to go godlike mode. And like, I'm not saying we're gonna be flying through the sky and flying up like Gohan and Goku and going Super Saiyan, but it gotta be a way we can unlock our spiritual potential to where we can heal ourselves. We can damn near read people's minds type shit. Like, you can already use your discernment or whatever, use your intuition, but that shit could be deeper to where you could really pick up on people's energy. You could look at them and right away tell. You could see, like, really literally see they don't have good intentions for you. They don't have a good purpose of being in your life. And you could just cut them off right away. You ain't gotta experience nothing bad or go through something and then figure out. No, you can figure it out right away. Like, I feel like it's spiritual gifts like that. You may even see angels, man. I seen an angel when I was 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? I seen an angel and I've seen dark creatures. So I feel like it's really stuff that's out there in the spiritual world, man. I feel like as you got older, you started to get coded, how you have ice cream and you pour the chocolate topping on there, then it hardens up. Like, I'm gonna use that same analogy. I feel like as people got older that had a real spiritual purpose in their life, you started to get chocolate coated with the toxicity that life threw on you, the negative experiences in life, your traumas, your traumatic experiences and stuff like that. They changed your perception of life or whatever. You started to feel down and out. You started to focus on things that's not important for you. That you started to focus on things and giving your energy to stuff that's not gonna benefit you. You know what I'm saying? You start thinking about girls or whatever. Or, I'm just speaking from a man perspective. You start thinking about women, you start lusting or whatever. And lust is one of the biggest toxic things. It's already a big sin in the Bible. But even if you're not on some Bible shit, lust is still a toxic thing, man. It can really drain your energy. You're literally wasting your seed every time you eject. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if you've been chasing pussy or just wasting your energy on pornographic things, material. That alone is one of the guy's biggest thing he has to deal with and overcome in life is his lust. And most guys probably won't. It's always going to be a thing, man. A lot of guys are going to succumb to that. So it's just like, damn, bro. It's just so many things in life that has knocked you off your path, your spiritual potential, And then you have people telling you things in your ear, telling you, oh, do this or be this in life. You got society throwing this in your face. So what's the American dream? So you lose sight of what's really important, man. And in the world, in society, that's important. You know what I'm saying? But from a spiritual standpoint, from a God-like standpoint, none of that shit really matters. All that is irrelevant. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to really get out of this box of what you see as appealing or socially acceptable. Because to be God-like, you shouldn't give a fuck about being socially acceptable. You know what I'm saying? You think God or whatever give a fuck about a football game or whatever? I like sports too, but to be God-like, that shit shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? You being on social media all day, looking at all this stuff, it's so much temptation on social media alone. It's like that's already detrimental to your God-like potential. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I don't want this video to be too long, but it's just I can talk about this all day, man. But yeah, man, this is some like out of this world type shit. Like, no pun intended. This is real shit. There's a way to be godlike, but most people will never enter into that realm because you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot. You're gonna have to really detach yourself. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm about to shoot some hoops, man, and kill some time because I got an interview in about 5-6 hours. It's a girl out here skating on the court. She going back. I still ain't learned how to skate yet. Or whatever, man. I was supposed to learn. I got some skates actually back there. I should tell her to come, teach me. Beautiful black woman. Got a little skate song, got a braids in. I'm about to go shoot some hoops out here. So anyways, yeah, man, I'll be with y'all another time, man. I'm out.